What's up? It is Way Up with Angela Yee, and look who's here in the building. Nelly and Ashanti. New show. Y'all belong together for real. Just even sitting here having this conversation with you guys. New show is on Peacock.
Yeah.
And this is something that people never thought that Ashanti would do. You said you wouldn't do reality TV.
I definitely said I would never do it.
So what happened? Tell me how this even was like a conversation that you gave into.
I mean, he thought it was a great idea. He explained it very well. Obviously, I had my reservations. I'm a little more private when it comes to these kind of things. And he had already done this before. And when he explained it and put like the business spin and perspective on it, I was just like, okay, we're married. I got to be a team player. We're a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I'm down. Let's do it.
And I thought, Nelly, I actually watched your show before, every single episode. I thought it was very well done.
Oh, thank you so much.
So it feels like you're a vet when it comes to this. You know.
I think part of the reason why the skepticism is why I did not continue with the first show. Because, you know, it does get to a moment where I think outside and people with input they only care about the show. They don't care about the people that's in the show, you know. And with that being said, they want certain numbers and they know how to get to those numbers super fast. So instead of understanding that you're dealing with people in real life, because that's what people say, yo, you know, reality shows can break up a family. Well, yeah, if you're literally letting somebody else break your family up, because it's not the show that's breaking people up. It's the people who are running the show that are breaking the people up because you're going for ratings. You know what I mean?
You feel like that happened because you had some real life emotional things on that show. Yeah. You know, just seeing you raising.
Yeah, but I think that's the good thing. And I hope this isn't a bad subject, but if you look at like the Cosby Show, how inspirational that was when you were watching it at a time, early 80s. A lot was going on. You had the crack epidemic. It was huge. And then you had this family, a lot from New York, that had these people that were giving you such inspiration. And then you had a different world. It made me want to go to college.
Right.
So even if everything on the outside wasn't looking as beautiful as you wanted, you still had something to gravitate to say, yo, this is inspiring. This isn't, I mean, who wants to just watch negativity all of the time? If you got shit going on in your real life, you want to be able to look to something else and see something that could potentially be better, inspire you to be better, and that's what you hope for. You know what I mean? Because self-accountability is the first accountability. Right. And I think we're losing that. I think we're always looking for heroes and the villains.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
People love the villains. Those are the ones that get the most play. Those are the posts that get the most views and comments.
Exactly.
And people will complain about it, but it's like y'all not paying attention to the positive content.
Right.
It's out there.
It's there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's out there. I'm distracted because I feel like those are the earrings you gave Ashanti on the show.
No, you don't know.
I let him borrow it for the press run.
I love her now. They ain't got that big yet. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like they was about that big.
She gonna need about a 2-year anniversry for that.
Well, I got this, so I'm good. Okay, I got this, so don't worry about it.
And you got your ring on. You know, sometimes guys don't wear a ring. Was that a conversation?
Well, she'll ask. Your hand looks a little empty.
Where the ring at?
But see, she got me such a dope ring.
That's a dope ring.
It's really hard sometimes because, you know, men are careless. We're careless. We're banging our hands up against a lot of things. And, you know, I don't want to knock anything out of the thing, but no, I definitely keep it with me, man.
Yeah, listen, our producer's laughing because he left his ring at home the other day. He just got married.
Oh, see?
And
oh my God,
his wife was letting him have it.
Because we're not used to wearing it. Yeah, you're not used to wearing it, and we do shit. We hoop. We do this. See, women, y'all don't play a lot of sports.
So you just randomly hooping
with your ring? Well, I take it off.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I better, you know.
You better put it back on.
How you know we don't hoop?
You're not hooping with the ring on.
Shout out to New York Liberty.
Yes, exactly.
I ain't seen no WNBA game with a ring on. Maybe on the bench.
But what I love about watching the show too is Ashanti, just seeing you back at work and seeing your mom in your corner. There's such a balance of being like, all right, I know you want to do this. You want to get back to work. Your first show, the Motown Christmas special that we had a chance to see, but the behind the scenes that people don't know. You got up there, sang your heart out, looked amazing, but we don't know what it took.
Girl.
For you to get there. And I think, are you happy you did it now that people get a chance to see all the work that goes into Ashanti?
I mean, it was a positive outcome. I'll say that. It took a lot. Even some stuff that didn't necessarily make it, but just mentally where I was leaving, and then anxiety, and when you're having this anxiety, you can't pump, and then you know what I mean? Like, so it was really a lot. But it's relatable, and I think that was really important for this show, and that's what we're trying to kind of convey. Like, we are real people, we're living organically, authentically, and I know so many women struggle with, do I leave? Should I stay? Should I, you know what I mean? So it's a hard decision. So ultimately, yes, I will say I'm glad that we made it happen. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just about being inspirational and finding that positive ending.
You look good with no makeup on too.
Oh, well, thank you, Ange.
I mean, I know how, I know it's hard sometimes when you be like, how'd I look? But you look really good, like getting ready.
You.
I was like, okay, Ashanti with the natural face looking amazing.
Girl, because sometimes with the cameras, you be like, I'm not even in the mood. Just shoot it. I ain't putting on nothing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like, I'm not in the mood. Just no makeup. We gonna get it done.
Now that y'all are married, what's different?
I don't know. I let her yell at me a lot more.
I can't even
that
see
is
that.
not true.
What?
I can't even. I can't
see
even
that?
envision
Thank
that.
you, Angie.
Stop
Thank
playing.
you.
Not
That is
Ashanti.
not true.
Look at you. Look at poor guy. He's turning red. Look, he's like, yeah, man. And then it seemed to
imagine
ramped up, didn't it?
When she yells, it probably sounds like a song.
Boy, probably.
It's just like, babe.
I will give New York women their credit. Y'all hang in there, boy. Y'all stick together. It's just rain, hail, sleet, or snow.
So
boy.
KK's growing up in New York.
I mean, not right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Till he got to go outside.
Because we want him to make sure he got his little street smarts too.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Well, see, this
You know what I'm
the thing.
saying?
You gonna want him.
Got his Timbs,
Boys
got his
belong
New York
outside.
Yankees.
Boys belong outside. No, I'm just saying, boys belong outside. When they growing up, they belong outside. I don't agree with all that diagnose and this kid got ADD and they want to calm little boys down. I hate that. Like,
right, let
little
him have
boy,
his energy.
You got to. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a young son that's like a toddler, and he's not tired, you need to be outside. You let him be outside and he come in, I promise you.
He can go outside in New York.
I think it's also nutrition. I do think it's
You
nutrition
would
and
be
diet
anxiety.
too. Yeah.
If he was outside in New York, she'd be out the window.
No,
you
it's
ever
in
seen
Long
them old
Island.
women that's out the
It gotta be
window?
Long Island.
That's out the window.
What is he doing? Is that right? Did he fall?
I can hear his friends now. Your mama called.
It's funny because I think for you, Ashanti, as a new mom, and even leaving KK with Nelly is also nerve-wracking too. But it's hard for you. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
I can't even imagine what that anxiety
It's
is
just like that amount of, no one can prepare you for that amount of love that you feel once you have your child, right? Like, I'm a writer. It's hard. I can't put into words how I feel about my son. Like, it's an overwhelmingly huge feeling of selflessness and protective, you know what I mean? Like mama bear. You know, you just want everything to be okay and everything to be perfect. So it is.
And correct that she not leave right now. She don't leave him with me
Ever?
to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
To go to the bathroom, she don't trust me. Like, I mean, I've only got like 5, 4, 6, 8 kids. You know what I'm saying?
You know
That
what
have
you're
made it
doing.
through this life. I've never
Isn't
lost
it crazy?
a child.
Your kids are grown.
You know what I
Your
mean?
kids are grown.
I've never lost a child.
Stop it.
You know what I mean?
But you've
Like,
dropped them. Everybody done dropped the baby at some point.
No, the baby fell.
Oh,
I
see?
never
catch me.
dropped him.
I feel like that's at some point you gonna drop that.
Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about that.
Never dropped.
Now, listen, we got to. Y'all have been revisiting that hug hug.
Oh God.
Yeah.
At Versus. I had to go back and see who was like, because you did do a little extra back rub. I did see it, Ashanti.
Come
I'm
on.
on your side,
That,
but
no.
I did see the
back
little-
rub was the same rub
I'm
that you give
saying.
in church. The church back rub when you in church. Oh, how
Rub
you
somebody
doing?
back
No,
like
it
that
wasn't-
now.
the church one is a pat.
That was a pat.
No, that felt
I
like.
mean, it was a
All
little.
right,
it was a
Ed,
tiny.
we back.
It was a tiny.
I
bit
gotta
of
give
a
him
rub.
something.
I was worried for a minute.
Tiny
I was
bit of a
worried.
rub. That's it. It wasn't like it wasn't like a.
But you wouldn't have made that move first. He had to come over to you.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
never would have made the move
Yeah.
first. No.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. That's
Yeah.
understandable. It's just like the first time, the first go round. I made the move.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with making the move. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to calm everything down, Angela. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want no tension in the building. We were there to celebrate these two brothers of ours
Yeah.
and their beautiful music and the history that they made. And I just wanted.
But you knew
calm
Ashanti
heads.
was going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. How could she not be there? It's
No,
Fat
I'm saying
Joe and
you
Ja Rule.
knew she was going to be there. She did
Yeah.
not know. You didn't know he was going to be there, right?
I
Yeah,
told
she knew
Joe
I was gonna be
I was
there.
gonna beat him up.
She knew I was going to be
You-
there. It was a.
I
it was
did
a
not
once-
know.
It was a.
Absolutely not. I said, Joe, why you ain't call me and tell me
Oh, so she didn't know.
at all?
Yeah.
Why would you be mad if you saw me then if you didn't want me to be there? If you wouldn't have never
I just wanted a
asked.
heads up
You wouldn't have never for what?
so that she could be like,
Because
Why
that's
would
a
she need to be
mental.
mad?
y'all hadn't seen each other in what, 6 years?
7
coulda-
years. That's a
before.
You
mental.
could have blank stirred me.
That's
Could
a
have blank
mental
stirred
not
me.
at
thing.
Versus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's too
Okay.
classy for that.
Yeah. What you mean?
Thank you,
She's too
Ange.
classy. She's not
Thank
blank
you.
staring you.
Thank
Yeah.
Who did you go there with?
It don't matter. It don't matter. It wasn't anybody that I was in a relationship with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We was hanging out.
I do feel that's a little crazy though. You knew she was going to be there.
We was hanging out. Yeah. I don't owe her nothing.
I know, but still.
She was in a
just-
relationship.
Oh, okay. Well. How did you break that off?
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, it was just.
No, I mean in general,
But
like
the
how.
writing was on the wall.
Oh,
Nah,
okay.
let me be quiet. Go
It
ahead.
was just time, you know. Things run its course.
So it had nothing to do with
yeah, it was just done.
because being in a relationship and then that hug happens and then you see the little back rub. I'd be like,
Oh
yeah,
my
no, she better-
God, Ange, what are you doing?
Wow,
I
yeah.
said that was the church pat.
Yeah.
And I feel like your mom was like,
What, in the beginning?
Yeah.
Mama Jer was definitely not really on board. You know what I mean? It was a lot of hurt that went into it. But, you know, at the end of the day, regardless, my mom is a true support system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever the decision is, you know, she's going to support. And that's what I appreciate, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
I remember interviewing Nelly back then, and you know we always blame the man,
Always.
always, and he was like, "How you know it was me? It was it," and
Always.
that was his thing. He stands by that.
But you
He
know what I
does.
feel? Because, I mean, we in this business. We all got a little cockiness and arrogance about ourselves.
Right.
About who we are. I mean, that's what works in the business. It's a small bit of artistic narcissism.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But you can still be humble, still be gracious, and still have manners. I still, yes, sir, and no, ma'am, period, to this day. And some people, you know, if you know me, you know I do that to no
Yeah.
matter who it is.
I get ma'am to death.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Ma'am.
but when you're put in that situation and you've been through a lot like me and her have, sometimes it do in the gut when they be like, "What you do to that girl?
Yeah.
What you mean? What she do to me?" You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you be like that.
What
but,
about me?
You know, I said that in a deeper voice. Nah, yeah, don't do that. What about me? No, I said, what about me?
You know, in a
your
way,
Barry.
don't you feel like, even though this was, it's serendipitous, because do it feel like you were kind of like waiting?
Absolutely not. No. I wasn't waiting.
'Cause
I don't think
I-
he was waiting.
Because I want to say we haven't seen you like in public.
Right. That's definitely a fact.
This is the only public relationship that
Yeah.
you've had, and then now again, it's the only public relationship you've
Yeah.
had.
Only
And-
one worth showing. Nah, I'm just
Here he go. No, but I mean, in hindsight, that's kind of the truth. Like, it's not that I didn't, you know, have situations.
Right.
It was, for me, it wasn't worth, you know, it wasn't worth going public. You know
Did you
what I
ever sub him like in songs and things like that you wrote?
mean? Who, him?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I I made some hits.
Absolutely.
And you
No,
did
I'm just
too.
saying.
And
No,
you said-
no. I was saying I made some
Oh,
hits.
you created those hits.
I
with
inspired a few of them. No, I'm just saying.
Okay, so let's go back to doing this show. What was that like for you? For this being Ashanti, a new space, like you said, for you, you're not used to this. Your mom's not used to it. The family's not used to it. It's a whole different vibe. What were the boundaries that you had to set up? And in retrospect, looking back, how was it?
I would say we live our real, authentic lives, right? We have careers. We're newlyweds. I'm a new parent. He's a new parent to this baby, this child. So there's a lot already going on. So it was kind of like we had to fit the cameras into our schedule. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just taking that time to say, okay, I got 3 shows this weekend. When y'all trying to shoot? Okay, we have this day, this amount of time. Okay, boom, let's get it done. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a lot of that going on. And being a new mom and, wanting to have time for the gym and, figuring out what you're going to do for the show. And you have this Zoom call and then it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot. But we made it work. It all came together. And I feel like the most important thing is that, again, it's just who we are. It's authentically us.
I got to see you a little spicier than normal, though.
Uh-oh.
When you was working out and the trainer was like, come on. And you was like, well, you go have a baby and then you tell me.
Yeah, because I'm like, how you gonna tell me to give you some more? Oh, you lazy. What you talking about? Did you just have a baby?
She got spicy. I was like, that's
Listen here. Don't play with me.
Now, Nelly, you put out a country song, country-inspired song about spinning the block.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so see, there he go with this man. So talk to me about, the lyrics of that. Obviously, we know what inspired that, but second time around, what's different? Because you guys are in a whole new space. You've had time to grow. Sometimes timing is everything.
Yeah, I think that's it. All of that. I mean, the song kind of gravitates and speaks for itself. I mean, and we're artists. Our lives is what inspires us and what we use to create. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But we use that internally to hopefully come out and be as passionate or be as creative as possible. So the new song, Spin the Block, it is out now in all formats. Check that out. And yeah, man, I'm finishing up my second country-inspired project. I did the Heartland project, the first one, which was really, really dope, and I want to thank everybody that supported that and supported the singles. The second one we're working on now. Hopefully that'll be out by the end of this year. But, I mean, again, man, we had to grow. We had to learn a little bit more about each other, but more so about what's worth it and what's not worth it. Does the positive outweigh the negative? And that's with any relationship that you have with anybody. Does that person bring more positivity to your life than negative? And everybody is not fortunate enough to kind of be with a person for some time, break off, get a chance to see what else what else you're doing out there, to understand that, you know what? That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, seriously, because if you're fortunate enough to get that, I think people will make better choices.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
but,
you're right.
But society has planted something in your head to be like, if you do revisit a situation, you're going backwards in life. You're never going backwards.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like learning the history of who you are as a people. You know what I mean? Like we tell people always, learn your history so you don't repeat it. You know what I mean? And learn your history. It helps you become who you are. But yet in certain things, we're saying, no, don't go backwards because it kind of cripples you from moving forward. But no, sometimes, and I'm not saying for everybody, that Nelly's not giving out.
I'm not going backwards.
I'm not giving out life advice.
Ain't nobody worth it for me. I would say that. Yeah. I'm definitely never going backwards.
Listen, Ange, don't say never, because I said never.
Listen, I'm saying never.
I said never.
I promise you. I promise you. Don't say never.
Shout out to them, though. No, but for real, but
and you know who you are.
Right. But timing is important, though, right?
No, and
timing. So now that I want to ask you this to get all in y'all's business, the first time you guys said, okay, let's get together, what did y'all do and what was that like? Back together again. The first time y'all.
But see, the first time before we even got to this, yes, it was 11 years. but it really wasn't.
It was off and
because
on.
you're
It was off
being
and
in
on.
this business, and you're in this business. See, some people are saying they may not ever go back. I don't mean to talk because they live together every day.
Right.
Every day. You got to figure, like, when we were younger and our careers were different, we probably spent a week out of every month together.
Yeah.
If we were lucky. You see what I'm saying? And if you take that, it's 52 weeks. We probably spending 12 weeks out of a year together. That's no time to really get to know each other. So you're spending more time apart than you are together.
Right.
So that didn't...
And we didn't have FaceTime.
No,
have
you didn't have a lot of
FaceTime.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So now it's just...
All right, so back to the first time y'all relinked.
So now it was like she was waiting on me, man.
Good night. Was not. That is not
Who
true.
initiated, like,
He initiated.
Okay,
He
period.
initiated everything.
Period.
He tried to fly me out on Valentine's Day.
on Valentine's Day? That is a huge statement.
And he took me shopping.
Okay, period. We like that.
Then wait, hold on. I ain't gonna say the number, but he was like, "Well, you ain't my girlfriend yet, so you only get this much." I said,
You
okay.
put a limit?
Yeah, you got to put a limit. You can't,
It wasn't bad.
you can't get... You can't get...
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Listen, you can't...
I feel like if you pushed, you could have even, you know what I'm
You know
saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was trying to hit.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to hit.
And I was trying to figure out, do we stay in the same bed? Do we?
Ooh,
You know what I'm
see
saying?
the things that go on in different...
I'm
yeah.
trying to tell you,
Yeah.
she knows.
Yeah.
She came with me. I'm like trying to figure out.
One thing, Ashanti is a great artist. She's even a better actress.
I knew you were going to say something crazy.
You see what I'm saying? This right here.
Oh
with
my
you.
God.
Okay,
Come
so
on now.
he
Stop
flew
it.
you out on Valentine's
Come on now.
Day.
Yes.
Took you shopping.
We had an amazing time.
flew you
And
out to where?
Vegas.
Okay.
So the thing is, I didn't know how I was gonna feel. He didn't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do know that when we did get to the room, it was just like, oh my God. I didn't know I still had these feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like things were just coming
What was
back.
he wearing when you walked in? He had
Nothing.
a robe on?
No, if we keep it at 100, he was at the poker table because we were in the
Okay.
casino in Vegas.
Were you a little nervous that she was coming? Like, because it had been a while and you don't want to mess up.
I wouldn't say nervous. You know, it's more excited because I think this go round, because we do spend more time together. That's why I was making a statement that we spend more time laughing and having a good time than we do. Because I think before it got to a point to where we're only together for a week and anything is pissing us off. So now we done spent that week being mad. And now we done separated. She done went her way, I done went my way, but now we're pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we don't make up over the phone when we come back or I see
still
it,
mad.
we're still pissed.
And then
Yeah.
when you're younger, you play a lot more games.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
The game is on.
It's
on
like,
and
oh,
cracking.
hold up. He
Yeah.
called, you
Yeah.
text one time.
What?
Nope, I ain't responding.
No.
I'll
He
wait till
called,
tomorrow.
exactly.
Come
I
on,
gotta
man.
wait till he calls 3 times
And
before
then
I hit back.
I changed my voicemail to Pimp Juice. I think I need to let it go.
No.
Call, I sent her straight to voicemail. She only want me for my...
Because nobody even has voicemail anymore.
Exactly. Oh my
All right, so
God.
poker table. So then what happens?
Yeah.
So she comes, you're at the poker table. And I
Hang
bet, did people see, I know y'all both so
People
recognizable.
were absolutely like, wait a minute, is that?
Yeah.
So we definitely had that going. And
Okay.
it was a lot, and security brought me over there, and no, it wasn't the fight. This was before the fight. Yeah.
No. You right.
No, it wasn't the fight. It was February
it wasn't
1st.
the fight, but it was around the fight. It was a fight coming around.
Okay.
It was a fight coming around that
It was
weekend.
Valentine's Day.
Wow.
I'm like, I know what it was.
Okay.
Right, but that happened in May.
Okay, so you go shopping, and then what happens? Y'all go to dinner, you go back to the room.
We did go to dinner. Let me see what else.
Was it a passionate night, or were y'all up all night talking?
I don't know. I was trying to hit.
Listen, and it is going viral. You talking about him, so.
Oh man! I mean,
I was trying to hit. Angela, I was trying.
yeah,
She
it
gave
was-
you your
it
props.
was-
She gave you your props.
It was definitely. Did I just bust down my ex?
Ooh. And you bust him down. Let's be clear.
reverse. See what I'm saying?
So then what were the thoughts the next day? Like when you wake up and you guys like, was it like, this is just a, what?
That's the thing. I don't think either of us knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? We'll just see what happens. It's not like we were planning something or trying to map something out. We were talking and we were kind of just taking it day
easy
by day. Yeah.
You say Boomerang, I woke up like Eddie Murphy. She was putting on her sneakers. I was like, are you going to call me? Like, you gonna call me? She was like, oh, that was so relaxing.
That was so, thank you
I'm
so
out of here.
much. I'll see you later.
I'll have my mom coordinate a day with you. I was like,
oh my God, not the mom. Did you have to have a conversation with, just to like with your mom, just to like, did Nelly have to be like, so things are different?
I mean, I conversation with everybody, I have no problem. I think me and her pops have always been straight.
Okay.
Now, that don't mean that he's not in his daughter's corner always and forever. That's understood. As a father, that's understood. He never, I'm not worried about, he will not hesitate to put one in the back of my head for his daughter if he needs to. That's never the question. But I probably wouldn't see him coming. I'm gonna see Momager coming,
right?
Because she coming and you mother, you know what I mean. So I think that was a little bit easier. A little bit easier to initiate that conversation, and then little sis.
Okay, yes.
Because that was my dog. I think me and Shia's breakup was a little bit was a little bit worse than that. Because that was my dog. That's my little
they were
homie.
very close.
That's my little
and I
rebel.
know I know she's really happy for you.
She is.
She's living her best life. She's like a herbalist and a nutritionist.
She got her certificate. She's doing all of her herbal holistic
She
healing.
reminds me of Chanel.
Yes.
Her and my oldest daughter.
Baby girl.
I gotta talk to her. I need to talk to her
Yeah,
about
you
that.
gotta hit her for sure.
All right.
She made KK this little homemade butter for his skin just to be moisturized, and she literally she had herbs and oils and like jojoba oil and almonds, and she melted it in the pot and made it and like solidified it. She's really, really dope at what she does. So,
okay, just learned it's jojoba oil, not jojoba. Okay,
right.
Thank
what
you.
did I say? I said jojoba.
No, you said it.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
But this whole time in my life, I've been saying it wrong. Because it's too right. It's jojoba.
No,
thought
it's
that was
jojoba.
somebody else. I thought whole nother person. I didn't know.
Now let's talk about household responsibilities. Because Ashanti, is this your first time like living with somebody, a man, or have you done that before?
To this extent, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you have your stuff at somebody's place.
But it's not like living.
It's not like, waking up every single day and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Know? So, yeah, this is.
Now, when you guys talk about these things, because I have my Wealth Wednesdays, I always talk about finances. Yeah. How do y'all vibe when it comes to that? Like, what are spending habits? Did y'all have a discussion like, okay, let's talk about how we going to do this?
I mean, we have our own money.
Okay. No, because you both
I got
do.
my own money.
Yeah.
He has his own money.
So you keep it separate.
We do. We have our separate money. We have our stuff together.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's already a gentleman and a man. So he's already very generous. You know what I mean? So it's sometimes he'll just, without anybody asking. And that's not just me, just whoever. You know what I mean? So it's not like a stressful thing with us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's when because I always think about that. When I think about like one day, would I ever want to like...
I think it's about building it together though.
Yeah.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I mean, understanding where you want to go. I mean, we're not perfect with it. How could we be? You know what I mean? We don't come from generational wealth. We don't come from generational structure. But I think the goal is to start. In order to start that, we got to start the foundation because, if she wants to have more children, if we decide to have more children, you want to build, you want to set that up. You want to be able to have them. It's mentally, you got to know how to deal with money early. And I think we sometimes, definitely in the rap and the hip hop community, in the music business, entertainment business, a lot of times, we don't learn how to deal with money until we get it.
Yeah.
And then by the time you got it, it's a little late to be learning how to use it. You see what I'm saying? Because you're a master at spinning that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody can match you at spinning it. I can spin it behind my back, but learning even before you get it, what to do with it, how to do it. And I think that's a lot of the things that we want to teach young KK and just other children in the family and preparing that. But I think if you have to set that up for them as well.
Right. I agree with that. They say when kids have bank accounts at an early age, later on they end up being way better with finances.
I believe in paying kids for grades.
Okay.
I believe in that structure. I believe in not paying them in the sense of them going out doing something, but incentivizing. I definitely believe in incentivizing. Yo, this is for this is for that, because that's how the world works. You know what I'm saying? Like if you work hard, you achieve. You know what I'm saying? You reap the benefits of that. And traditional way of school, college, as we can all see now, you can have 3, 4, 5 degrees and be freaking homeless. You know what I mean? And trade schools are picked up 1,000% over the past 6, 7 years because, you're always building homes, you're always building houses.
Yeah, plumbers and HVACs are the new millionaires and
hell
electricians.
Hell yeah. So, and that comes with a trade school is almost paying people for grades because you're guaranteed to get a job coming out of a trade school 10 times more faster than any associate degree, a bachelor, a master, or some shit like that. So I think if you start that at a young age, incentivize it. And I'll match. Like if you a kid, 16 years old with a job, whatever you bring, I'll match.
I'll match that. You know what else is great? There's a lot of apps where you can teach kids about stocks. So if they want to get some Nikes, you could get them the Nike stock, in the app. And it's really fun for them to learn that in that way. And you can use like small amounts, so it's just like pieces of stock as well. Now, you just talked about homelessness. You had this movie, No Address, that you're in. How did that affect you? Because it is about being unhoused and it's based on a true story. Yeah. And I just think that, first of all, it feels like for you a passion project to be able to touch on something like that. So talk to me about what you learned from doing that movie.
It's really a larger conversation, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of the film to put this message out there that homelessness is so real and it really can happen to anyone at any time. You could be doing everything right. You fall behind on one bill and it could just trickle down into completely changing your life. I learned that people don't choose to be homeless. You don't wake up and say, I want to be homeless and displaced. It can just happen. My character Violet, she was addicted to drugs. She was an ex-veteran and fell on hard times and found herself living in an encampment, and it's so sad that in our country or anywhere really, you can have millionaires living on this block and 2 blocks down. People can't afford food, water, electricity, and that is mind-boggling to me. You know what I mean?
I see that when I'm in San Francisco. I remember going there and seeing it's like such a rich, one of the most expensive zip codes to live in, and then you see that on the streets there, which is wild to me. And New York definitely is like that too.
LA, you visit that Skid Row.
Oh my gosh,
that is depressing.
Yeah,
and
it's heartbreaking.
You think about all the tax money. How are these people just nowhere to go? That is impossible. So she did great in the movie, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but I didn't believe she was homeless because I'd have picked you up and gave you somewhere to stay, baby.
Me up out the encampment,
I'd have gave you somewhere to stay, baby.
Remember when Halle Berry played the crackhead in?
Oh yeah,
we were like, hold on, Halle. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I know you guys are like super busy doing this press run. I got a chance, like I said, to see the first episode on Peacock right now. So everybody, make sure you check it out. We Belong Together. New music, Ashanti, because I know you've been talking about some new music too.
Called you up. So excited about it. I shot the video in Bermuda. Okay. So I'm excited for everybody to hear. Is this a true Ashanti R&B record? So
what's that about?
She called me up. Nah, I'm just saying.
That's what it feels like.
It got
and then when y'all put it together, because I know y'all got those collabs coming.
She made the first move.
Oh, get out of here!
It's about her originally making the move.
Oh, absolutely
Was
not.
your number the same?
Was my number was not the same. It's not the same. My DJ actually gave him my number.
Oh, did he ask you first?
No. And that's the one
violation.
It's super violation. I was like, yo, you never do that.
And so
he was like, I took the risk. I took the risk,
So you
Sean.
texted her and said, hey, it's...
No, you know what his first text was?
What?
The high emoji. The black one. The man. The brown one.
With a fresh cut.
With the fresh cut.
I didn't want to make him the yellow guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you hit back.
I hit back
and said what?
The brown one.
Who's this? No.
Oh, he would have been hot if I hit him with the who's
Which
this?
Nelly?
wow, see, y'all play too much. I'm out.
Nelly Furtado?
Right. Nelly Furtado. Is this a Canadian number, Nelly?
But it's beautiful to see. I think, for a lot of people, it is inspirational. I've been looking at what everybody has to say and how people are like, man, this is about to make me go back. But it's not for everybody, like you said earlier.
No. But don't be afraid neither to at least have a conversation.
Right.
That's the thing. Because again, it's all about does the good outweigh the bad? Because you can get out, you think that this is a deal breaker, but it may not be a deal breaker because you could probably put up with that and not put up with this. You know what I'm saying? Like it weighs itself out. That's all.
Isn't it nice to not be outside too?
Yeah, it's hot as hell out there.
Period.
Period. Definitely.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Well, thank y'all so much. And you guys, again, it's on Peacock now. Make sure you check out Nelly and Ashanti. We belong together. Hey. And we're looking and checking for some new music. I know y'all got some new music together on the way, right?
Oh, together. I thought you said
right?
We working.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And I see you said KK is like a music too. You could get the vibes already.
Oh my gosh, he is so in love with music. Like he will stop what he's doing. He has little keyboards. Michelle bought him a keyboard. He got a drum set. He has all these little musical things.
You can stop. DJ center.
Yes, he got a DJ center. If there's like a commercial playing on TV and it's music, he'll stop what he's doing and just stare. You know what I mean? Like you can sing to him and he'll just look at you like he is infatuated. So
you feel like there's going to be a season 2?
We'll see. Like you said, again, coming from that, that business side of it and everything like that, I think, first season, 8 episodes, wanted to get acclimated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shout out to Peacock and everything because, we're not to disrespect any other outlets or platforms or anything, but when you get a chance to work with an NBC and a certain type of level of we'll just say distribution. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You definitely want to entertain those type of ideas because the potential there could be endless. And they believe in what it is that we're talking about. So when we believe that they got our best interests at heart right now, so we'll see what happens.
Well, get that money with your man.
Yes,
with your lady.
Yeah.
I do feel a little deserted because when people like Angela, you don't have no kids, you're not married, and now look at, I was like, now there's Ashanti, and now you are. No.
Yeah, it ain't too
Absolutely.
late.
That was me a few years ago.
It ain't too late.
I know that was annoying. That's why I actually was like happy when all this happened, and then you popped up pregnant out of nowhere, and with Nelly. And well, for us it was, y'all knew, we didn't know. But I just like that because I also felt like people always was talking crazy. And so I like to see that for you to be like, when the time is right and when your situation is right, whether you do it or whether you don't, it's your choice and your decision. Yep. So now what? Shut up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.